बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, राधा रानी की जय, श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय, श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। प्रथमं सद्गुरुं वन्दे श्रीकृष्णं तदनन्तरं गुरुपापात्मनां त्राता श्रीकृष्णस्त्वमलात्मना सदाराधिकानां जिह्वाग्रतस्यात् सदाराधिकारूपमक्ष्णग्रास्ताम् श्रुतौ राधिका कीर्तिरन्तः स्वभावे गुणाराधिकाया श्रियाद्येतधीहे गुणाराधिकाया श्रियायेतधीहे। नमः कमलना भाय नमः कमलमालिने नमः कमलपादा नमस्ते कमलेक्ष यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तद्ध्वं हदेवमात्मा बुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। बोले राधा कृष्ण भगवान की जय, श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय, श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की। आदरणीय पूजनीय पंडित गण, विप्र मंडली, प्रिय सज्जनों, प्रिय भक्त समुदाय, महानुभाव, most worshipable pandits, dearest devotees of the Supreme Lord, the Divine Souls. First, let me say Radhe Radhe to each and everyone, and my pranam, my humblest prostrations to all of you. A very special welcome, Radhe Radhe and pranam to our viewers viewing live on Bhakti TV also. Very special thanks to Pandit Satyanand Maharaj and his team for the wonderful job they're doing. Also, a very special thank you to our sponsors, the Little Store Limited of Rapsi Street, Kirap. Phone number 663-4415. Sital Fabricating and Construction Limited, Felicity. Phone number 671-5126. Through your kind courtesy, we're able to carry this broadcast live on Bhakti TV. May the Supreme Lord shower His choicest blessings on you. Before we go into Katha, let us do Bhagavad Sumiran. meditate on Shri Krishna Bhagavan as we do Bhagavat Sumira. Riddhi Siddhi Data Siddhi Sadan Varan Vadan Sumira Varambar Madan Kadan Kela Ganapati Kripanidhan ज्ञान खानी आनंद भवन देहु मोहि वरदान वरनो भाषा भागवत जय शिव आनंद कंद भूतनाथ भव भय हरन भक्ति विषय निधन गौर बरन मंगल करण हे ब्रज चंद मुकुंद ब्रजभूषण दूषण हरण काटहु भव भय पंद चरण शरण ली आनंद जय 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 जगदीश सेवत शेष महेश अज महिमा अमित अभेद वेद भेद जानत देहु ही वरदान राधा वरय वर सदा प्रेम भरी मुस्कान नित चित में खटकात मोहि चाहिए कछ और वस्तु प्रभु जात बसी रहे मन माही यह बाकी झाकी सदा लिए लकुटिया हाथ गायन के पीछे पीड़त ग्वाल बाल लिए साथ मोर मुकुट शिर पर धरे कर मुरली उर्मार शीश मुकुट कटी पीत पट याछ विसो नंदला बसो हृदय मम निशि दिवस गुरुपद रज धर शीश कहु भागवत की कथा जो शुकदेव मुनीश कवि सो परीक्षित निप अति भय निगम कल्पतरो गलितं फलम् शुकमुखादमृतत् द्रवसंयुतम् पिबत भागवतं रसमालयम् मुहुरहु रसिका भुवि भावुका मुहुरहु रसिका भुवि भावुका बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, राधा रानी की जय, श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय, श्रीमद् सद्गुरु महाराज की जय। Continuing this most wonderful katha, as you remember, once Vasudev, who had the great fortune of being the father of Sri Krishna, had the great fortune of meeting the greatest among saints, Naraji, during the visit to Dwarika to have special court with Sri Krishna. Seeing this is a wonderful opportunity, Vasudev requested Naraji to relate something that will help to bring peace to our mind, bring true happiness, and get us closer to Bhagavan. And so Naraji is outlined in this katha with the 9 Yogeshwars. Kavi Hari Rantariksha, Kavir Hari Rantariksha, Prabuddha Pipalayana, Avirhotrotha Drumilas, Chamasa Karbhajana. Bhagavat Mahapuran, 11 Canto, 2nd chapter, 21st verse. Kavi Hari Antariksh, Prabuddha Pipalayan, Avirhotra Drumil Chamas Karbhajan. 9 sons of Rishabh Bhagavan, and topmost among yogis, God among yogis, the highest among saints, having the same disposition of Sanak Sanandan, Sanatan, Sanak Kumar, the 4 mind-born sons of Brahma. They go wherever they want, no one stops them. Whoever they wants to bless. Knowing that this great personality, Videhanimi, Videha meaning Paramhans, Videhanimi, was performed in a yagna, decided to bless that yagna and Videhanimi. Videhanimi, they suddenly appeared, realizing that there is the topmost among saints, seeing a light like millions of suns around them. Immediately got up from the yagna, ran and welcomed them. The Purohits, the priests, who were the rishis and munis, performing the yagna, they also ran. The god of fire, Agni Dev, personified himself also and went. All the preceptors, etc., the guru of Videhanimi, all who were present, verily ran to the place where these 9 Yogeshwar had appeared. They were worshipped in the highest way, given the most beautiful seat, and then Videhanimi questioned them. Every question he asks, each Yogeshwar, one by one, gave answers. So far he had asked 6 questions. So today we're going to listen to the 7th question and any further. In the booklets you have, please turn to page 29. Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe, Jai
Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai
Devotees, it's beautiful kirtan written by Jagat Guru Tam Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu is asking us to sing the glories of Radharani, the supreme Shakti whom even Shri Krishna glorifies and worships. Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe. O Radha Rani, please grace me that I never forget you even for a moment, even for the smallest of a half, quarter of a moment. Nahi bhulo tohi pal chin aadhe, nahi bhulo tohi pal chin aadhe, as anukampa karu radhe. Nahi bhulo tohi pal chin aadhe, as anukampa karu radhe. Mahal tahalini. Radha Rani, please give me some seva, some service in your palace. I fall at your lotus feet and beg you. Mahal tahalini mohi bana de, bhaiya paru radhe balaiya lehu radhe. Oh, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe. Yani yani hi karmani ययैहि स्वच्छ जन्मधि चक्रे करोति कर्तावा हरितानि प्रवन्तु नः यो वा अनन्तस्य गुणानन्तस्य ननु क्रमिष्यन् सतु बालबुद्धि रजांसि भूमेर्गुणयेत् कथांचित कालेन नैवाखिलाति जय राधे जय राधे राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे ओ जय Radha Rani, Kunj Kunj, in the most beautiful of flowery groves in Vrindavan, she is performing divine pastimes. Kunj Kunj Bich Kunj Biharini Biharati Nit Prati Shri Radhe. Where she performs pastimes, Gahavaraban, a beautiful forest very close to the palace of Radha Rani, is called Gahavaraban. Ban mein, lata patan mein, around the flower, around in every plant, every creature, Braja kan kan mein, every particle of that divine place, Braj, she's performing pastimes. Gahavaraban mein, लतन पतन में ब्रज कन कन में श्री राधे. लतन Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe. Oh Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe. Oh Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Radhe,
Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
पूरब में in the east, पश्चिम में in the west, उत्तर in the north, दक्षिण in the south, ऊपर above, नीचे below. Everywhere I look, a devotee once, everywhere I look, I see Radha Rani, Shri Krishna. पूरब राधे, पश्चिम राधे, उत्तर राधे, दक्षिण राधे. पूरब
राधे, पश्चिम राधे, उत्तर राधे, दक्षिण राधे.
ओ ऊपर राधे, नीचे राधे, जित देखूं तित श्री राधे.
ऊपर
राधे,
नीचे राधे, जित देखूं तित श्री राधे.
ओ जय राधे, जय राधे, राधे, जय राधे, जय श्री राधे. जय
राधे, जय राधे, राधे, जय राधे, जय श्री राधे.
ओ जय राधे, जय राधे, राधे, जय राधे, जय श्री राधे. जय राधे,
जय राधे, राधे, जय राधे, जय श्री राधे.
बोल राधा रानी की जय, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. So now the seventh question, सातवें प्रश्न. विद्यानिमि ने कहा कि यानि यानि हि कर्माणि ययैर्हि स्वच्छदम जन्मनि भी चक्रे करोति कर्ता वा हरिस्तानि ब्रवन्तु नः. कि हे श्री, हे गुरु श्रेष्ठ, ये बताइए कि भगवान ने बहुत कर्म किया अवतार लेके. इसका विस्तार पूर्वक बताइए, वर्णन कीजिए कि किस किस अवतार में क्या क्या कार्य किया. जो अपनी इच्छा के अनुसार अवतार लेते हैं भगवान, वो बताइए, और आगे भी क्या क्या कर्म करेंगे. The seventh question, Videhanimi is asking the 9 Yogeshwar, tell me, O best among Guru, best among saints, please narrate to us and all who assemble here. The Lord has taken many, many dissensions. Please describe his dissensions and the various wonderful pastimes he has performed. Assuming forms at his own free will, the divine pastimes he performed in the past and the present, and that he'll perform in the future also. तो द्रुमिल महाराज ने जवाब दी. द्रुमिल उवाचा यो वा अनंतस्य गुणान अनंता ननुक्रमिष्यन् सतु बाल बुद्धि रजांसि भूयेर्गुणैयेत् कथंचिन् कालेन नैवाखिलवन् भक्तिधाम्रः शक्तिधाम्रवः. 11 canto, 4th chapter, 2nd verse. Dhumal Maharaj is saying, कि हे O Videhanimi, to count the dissensions and the deeds of the Lord is like a little child trying to explain science. Bala Buddhi. Someone says, I can explain all the dissensions of Bhagavan and all his wonderful deeds. Is like a little child trying to explain some university topic, something in science. It will be useless. The Lord has performed uncountable, He has taken uncountable dissensions. And He has performed uncountable divine pastimes. It's written in the scriptures, some places He has taken 10 dissensions, some places 24. But that's not all. In Bhagavat it says, Avatarahya Sankheya Hare Satvanidhe Dvijaha. God has taken uncountable dissensions and is taken dissension every moment. In this vast universe, there are uncountable solar systems. The galaxy we live in, which is called the Milky Way, is the smallest one. Even now scientists are accepting that in this galaxy itself, in the Milky Way, there are thousands and thousands of suns. Every sun has its own planetary system. It's called a Brahmand. And every Brahman has a planet Earth. There are thousands in this galaxy, and there are uncountable galaxies. So there are uncountable solar systems. In every solar system, in every galaxy, in every Brahman, the Lord is taking dissension and performing pastimes. How can anyone count? Again, the scripture says, Avatarahya Sankheya Ta Kathita Va Tavagratah Mahapuran. Uncountable dissensions the Lord has taken. Uncountable. हे अब देखो बता रहे हैं कि भगवान श्री कृष्ण परम ब्रह्म है. उस परम ब्रह्म से एक विष्णु आते हैं, महा विष्णु, कारणोदशाई. वो कारणोदशाई से एक और विष्णु आते हैं, गर्भोदशाई. उस गर्भोदशाई एक विष्णु और आते हैं, क्षीरोदशाई. और गर्भोदशाई अनंत. And here he's explaining the Supreme Lord is Shri Krishna, Supreme Brahma. As I mentioned yesterday in the Katha, Parokshabadyam Payam Vedoyam. Remember that word? Parokshavado Vedoyam. Here, Avirahotra Maharaj was saying to Videhanimi that what is written in the scriptures, in the Vedas, is Parokshavado. Means there's a deeper hidden meaning. It's divine. If we were to read the scriptures with our material mind and intellects, we'll give a material meaning. So people not understanding the deeper implication in the scriptures, just reading like a katha, like a story, they misinterpret. And so a lot of people argue that Shri Krishna is a descension of Bhagavan Vishnu. That Bhagavan Vishnu is Supreme Brahma. No. This question is asked in the Vedas, the highest authority of the Vedas. Kaha Paramo Devaha? Kaha Paramo Deva? Who's the Supreme Brahma, the Supreme Dev, above whom there is none? And the Vedas itself gives the answer. This is Gopal Tapani Upanishad, second mantra. The question comes. The Vedas itself gives the answer. Krishno havai paramam daivatam. Gopal Tapani Upanishad, third mantra. The Vedas say that Shri Krishna, that supreme, that Lord Shri Krishna is a supreme Brahman, supreme power. Above him there is none. Vedavyas, who is our Vishavatar, partial manifestation of Shri Krishna, who has divided the Vedas in four. That's how we got the name Vedavyas. Who has put the scriptures in book form. He put the Vedas in book form. He's written the 18 Puranas, etc. Mahabharata. He is saying, listen to what Vedavyas says. Yasyaika niswasita kalamathavalambya jivanti loma bilaja jagadandanathaha Vishnur Mahansa ihayasya kala vishesho govindamari purusham tamaham bhajami. Brahma Samhita, chapter 5, verse 48. Vedavyas is saying, I am a worshipper of that Shri Krishna, that Govind, Shri Krishna, whose partial manifestation is known as Maha Vishnu. Vishnur Mahansa ihayasya kala vishesho. So Maha Vishnu is a descension of Shri Krishna. He's also known as Karno Dashai. There are three Vishnus. Three Vishnu that come from Shri Krishna. First there's Karno Dashai. He's also known as Maha Vishnu. What work does he do? He manifests, from him comes Garbhodashai, Vishnu, as well as Kshirodashai Vishnu. Garbhodashai Vishnu, from the paw of Karunodashai, from every paw, thousands and thousands of solar systems are manifested. From every paw, this infinite universe is manifested from Karunodashai. Then in every solar system, there's a Vishnu who sustains it. He is known as Garbhodashai. From that Vishnu comes Brahma, who creates that solar system. And from Brahma, from the forehead of Brahma, comes Shiv, who destroys that solar system. They're all one and the same. Same Shri Krishna takes three forms. As Brahma, Vishnu, Shiv. As Brahma, he creates that solar system. As Vishnu, he sustains that solar system. As Shiv, he destroys it. And there are uncountable solar systems. So there are uncountable Brahma, uncountable Vishnu, uncountable Shiv. Devi Bhagavat says this. In the Devi Bhagavat it says, Sankhya chitaja samastina vishwanam kadachana Brahma Vishnu Shivadinam tatha sankhya na vidyate. Devi Bhagavat Puran. The Devi Bhagavat says, it may be possible to count every single grain of sand on the earth. Impossible, but maybe possible because it's finite. But no one can count how many solar systems there are, nor how many Brahma, Vishnu or Shiv. Uncountable. In the Ramayana too. भिन्न भिन्न प्रतिलोक विधाता भिन्न विष्णु भिन्न विष्णु शिव मन ऋषि त्राता Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai भिन्न भिन्न प्रतिलोक विधाता भिन्न विष्णु शिव मन दिशित्राता. Pratilok, in every solar system, there's a vidhata, bhinna pratiloka vidhata, a vidhata means Brahma, the creator, the one with the forehead. There are Brahmas with 4 head, 10 head, 20 heads, 100 head, etc., etc. And the more the number of head, the bigger is that Brahman, that solar system. Brahma came once to Dwarika, this is a katha in Bhagavat, to visit Sri Krishna. When he came, Sudarshan Chakra is a gatekeeper in Dwarika. Dwarpal. He stopped Brahma. Who are you and what do you want? Brahma said, I am Brahma. I am the creator, Shrishti Karta. And I want to have audience with Sri Krishna. So Sudarshan Chakra said, okay, let me go and tell the Lord, I'll come back. So he went and he came back and said, Sri Krishna said to ask you which Brahma? Which Brahma? Brahma was like, which? I am Brahma the creator. Okay, come. When Brahma went in the court of Sri Krishna and he looked at Sri Krishna, from the body of Sri Krishna, uncountable Brahmas were entering and exiting at the same time. And every Brahma had more and more heads. Every Brahma. I don't think this is some smaller form of Sri Krishna. This is Sri Krishna himself. God is not big and small. Don't ever have this decision that this form of God is big and this form of God is small. That's Namaprad. Unpardonable sin to see differences in God's name and form. One God. God is not an entity that you can cut into small pieces and fractions. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnata Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. The Vedas say God is such an entity that if you take out infinite from him, he remains infinite. The same power in every dissension. How much power he manifests is a different thing. That's all. So, in that alone, there are uncountable Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Dissension is a different question. And so, he goes on to say, कि हे विदेह निमि, एक बार वो ऋषि श्रेष्ठ से उत्पन्न हुआ और उस अवतार में नर नारायण नाम प्रकट हुए. At one time, he was born from the foremost of rishis. And in that descension, he was known as Nar Narayan. 2 rishis, Nar Narayan, the same Supreme Lord. That same Nar Narayan descended as Sri Krishna and Arjun in Dwapar. Uncountable dissension. In Gita, what is the reason for dissension? Why he performs all these deeds? There are many, many reasons. Many, many reasons. In the Gita, you're familiar with Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam shrijamyam paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkitam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Chapter 4, verse 7 and 8, Gita. For the protection of dharma, righteousness, to protect the good, to protect the saints and sages, for the protection of cows, etc., and destroying the evil. Whenever evil has reached too much of a high level, there's too much atrocities in the world, the Lord says, I take dissension again and again. In the Ramayana too, many reasons are given. In the Ramayana, there's a special reason, very special reason. Doha. भक्त हेतु भगवान प्रभु राम धरऊ तन भूप रामा राम धरऊ तन भूप किए चरित पावन परम प्राकृत नर अनुरूप हो रामा प्राकृत नर अनुरूप सियावर रामचंद्र कर जय शरणम शंकर हरि ओम जय जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम
जय जय सिया राम।
भक्त हेतु भगवान प्रभु, for the sake of those who love him, for his devotees. Ram dharu tanubhu, the Lord takes a form. He descends in the world. Kiye charit pavan param. Every action he performs is supremely sacred, supremely purifying. But prakrit nar anurup, he behaves like an ordinary human being. Prakrit nar. He behaves even worse sometimes. That's why no one benefits. भगवान अनंत अवतार ले यहाँ कुछ खास बता रहे. As I said, God has taken uncountable ascension. I'm just mentioning according to Dumil Maharaj some special ones. He says, for the sake of the world, the Lord appeared as a divine swan. A divine swan. एक अवतार में भगवान दत्तात्रेय. One he came as Dattatreya. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiv together descended in one form. A special katha of Mother Anasuya. They appeared as the sun. The three combined and formed that form known as Lord Dattatreya, Bhagwan Dattatreya. Ek avatar, Sanak, Sanandan, Sanatan, Sanak Kumar. In one descension, he came as the mind-born sons of Brahma, Sanak, Sanandan, Sanatan, Sanak Kumar. In that Leela they performed the pastime of being four sages, Paramhans. But Bhagwan himself came as these four. That's why they can go wherever they want. No one stops them. The Bhagwan himself. Ek avatar, hamare pita, Rishabh Dev. In one descension, he came as our father, Rishabh Bhagwan, the son of Nabhi. Ek avatar, Hayagriv, जो मधु राक्षस को मार दिया. In one avatar he came as Hayagriv. In that descension he killed the Rakshas known as Madhu. And by killing Madhu he got the name Madhusudan. By killing the Rakshas, the one who has killed that Rakshas known as Madhu. एक अवतार मछली बन के आए. उस समय प्रलय हुआ था तो मनु सत्याव्रत को उतार दिया, बचा लिया. In one descension he came as a fish, Matsya avatar. This is one of his descension. He came as Matsya avatar. It was about to be Mahapralay. Not Mahapralay, but Pralay. Dissolution where the whole world, after this world goes in a cycle of 4 yugas. First there is Satyug, then comes Treta Yuga, then comes Dwapar, then comes the present Yuga we live in, Kali Yuga. These 4 combine 4,320,000 years, one cycle. At the end of Kali Yuga, the Lord comes as Kalki and destroys the entire world. Through fire, through water, different means. So that in that pralay, the whole world was coming to be watered, to be filled. The whole world will be drowned into water. Rain will fall, literally bucket a drop. That kind of rain. And the entire world will be washed away, and only water you will see. So the Lord descended as a fish and grew and grew and grew. The Manu at that time was Satyabrat. And he came begging Satyabrat to save him. Satyabrat took him to his home. And every time he would place him in a different container, he grew and grew more and more. Eventually he put him in the ocean. So huge he got. And then dissolution happened. The entire world was diluted by water. He told Satyabrat to build a special vessel, and he saved him in that descension. एक अवतार वराह अवतार, हिरण्याक्ष को मार दिया और पृथ्वी को बचा लिया. In one avatar he came as Varaha. He came as a boar, a pig, the dirtiest animal. देखो भगवान comes in every form, only in Sanatan Dharma, to show I am everywhere in everything. The dirtiest animal, the dirtiest place, I am there. The dirtiest animal you can think about, a pig. It goes in the dirtiest place. Bhagavan say, I am everywhere, in every particle. There was no dirty and pure when it comes to Bhagavan. Ganda jaga, nahi ja sakte. Dirty place, Bhagavan cannot go. Bhagavan say, hey, there's nothing dirty or pure when it comes to Bhagavan. He makes the impure pure. God is everywhere, the dirtiest place you can think. You see, that's why we think only Bhagavan is only in the mandir, only in the murti. So when we come to mandir, we come to the Bhagavan, we behave very nice here, we try not to think any wrong thoughts. Nobody will fight and quarrel in the mandir. When we leave the mandir, oh, no more Bhagavan. Now we can fight, we can curse, we can think the worst thing, do the worst thing. Now no Bhagavan looking at me. And then we say we believe in God. No, Bhagavan is sitting in our heart. That I told you there were 3 Vishnu. So Karno Dashai, Maha Vishnu. Garbho Dashai, the Vishnu in every solar system. And then there's Kshiro Dashai, the one who lives in the ocean of milk, Kshir Sagar. That Vishnu resides in our heart, where Bhagavan says, Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddeshe junatishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantarurhani mayaya. Chapter 18, verse 61. God sits in the heart of all living beings. In the Vedas, He's the one that takes note of every thought and idea. He's a witness and punishes or rewards us accordingly. That's the form of Sri Krishna known as Paramatma. Paramatma. Kshirodasai. He resides in our heart. And he's looking every moment. Don't ever think Bhagwan is not there. Everywhere, in the toilet, in the ram shop, everywhere. 100%. Prabhu Vyapak Sarvatra Samana. God is everywhere and Saman Roop. Equally, 100%. Yes, he's in the mandir, he's in the murti, but not only here. Everywhere, 100%. So, in the dirtiest animal, to prove that I am everywhere. Not only that, he came as half man, half lion. He didn't come only as man, as animal, as bird, as fish. He also came mixture, half man, half lion, Nrsimha Bhagwan, to destroy Hiranyakashipu and save his devotee Prahlad. Only in Sanatana Dharma we see this. Proven God is everywhere in everything. एक बार अपने भक्त गज को बचाने के लिए अवतार लिए, ग्राहक के मुख से निकाल दिया. Once that elephant, Gajendra, the devotee of the Lord, was caught in the jaw of an alligator, Graha. The Lord came and saved him, descended. वृत्तासुर को मारने के लिए वो अवतार लिया. There was a Rakshas by the name who was actually a Brahmin. His father was a Brahmin. But the father produced this Rakshas known as Vritrasur to kill Indra. He became angry at Indra because Indra had killed his son. So that Rishi got very angry and he produced this Rakshas known as Vritrasur. That no weapon, no one could kill him. No Devta, no one. And the Lord descended and killed Vritrasur in the form of foam. That Rakshas. Not going to go in great detail. Ananta Manvantar, Ananta Avatar. In all the Manvantars, in all the Manvantar is the age of Manu. There are 71 Chatur Yug. I told you 4 yugs in one cycle. Satyug, Treta Yug, Dwapar, Kal Yug. One cycle. When that is multiplied by 71, that is equal to the age of one Manu, the lawmaker. Swayambhu Manu, Satyabrat. The Manu of the age we are living is called Vaivaswat Manu. So that's how long Manu lives for. 71 multiplied by 4,320,000 years. 306,720,000 years. How many times the Lord descends within that time? Performing divine pastimes. एक बार देवताओं की रक्षा करने के लिए बामन बन के आए और बलि से 3 पग पृथ्वी मांगा. Once, to the request of the Devatas, celestial gods, and the mother of the Devatas, Aditi, the Lord descended as a divine dwarf, Vamandev, and asked for 3 footsteps of land from Bali. Bali was performing Ashwamedha Yagna. He had done 99. If he'd completed 100, he would attain the seat, the position of Indra. Seeing that, Indra got scared. Indra wanted to protect himself. So he begged. And the mother also prayed to the Lord, and the Lord descended as Vaman, divine dwarf. Bali gave the 3 footsteps. The Lord grew and grew and grew, crossing all the heavens, etc. With 1 footstep he crossed the entire earth, the second, all the heavenly regions, etc. The 3rd footstep, there was nowhere remaining. He said to Bali, Kaha rakhu? Where should I put the 3rd footstep? You promised me 3 footsteps. Bali said, put it here. Bali sacrifice himself. And that's where the word Balidan comes from. But Balidan doesn't mean to kill goat and kill pig and kill male chicken and dove and all that. No, Balidan means sacrificing the enemies. We have Rakshas inside of us, great enemies: greed, anger, jealousy, hatred, lust. This is the Balidan we have. Why don't you kill those enemies? You want to kill people, you want to kill a pig, you want to kill all kind of things. And a real enemy that we have, you don't try to kill them. Greed, anger, jealousy, hatred, lust, selfishness. This is the ones we have to Balidan. This is what we have to kill. एक बार फिर परशुराम आए, 21 बार संसार से क्षत्रिय को हटा दिया. He came as Parashuram. He descended as Parashuram and rid the world of the Kshatriya dynasty for 21 times. एक बार तो श्री राम बन के आए और 10 सिर वाले राक्षस रावण को मार दिया. The Lord came in one descension as Shri Ram, descended in the world as Shri Ram, and killed that Rakshas with 10 heads, Ravan, protecting the rishis and munis, etc. जो जन्म नहीं लेते भगवान, अज है, लेकिन बार बार अवतार लेते हैं. The Vedas refer to God as Aj. Gya gyau dva vaja vishanisha vaja. Heka bhokti bhogyata yukta anantaschatma vishwarupo he kartat yamyada vindate brahma me tat. Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Chapter 1, verse 9. God is Aj, unborn, eternal, beginningless. Yet, He appears in so many different forms. Uncountable times He has appeared in the world. He appeared in the dynasty of the Yadu. Of course, we know He came as Sri Krishna, wearing pitambar, etc. To remove the burden of the earth. The mother, when the earth took the form of a cow and went with Brahma and Vishnu and Shiv and prayed to Bhagavan, and the Lord promised, I will come and relieve you from that burden. और इसी कलयुग में बुद्धा अवतार. And in this Kalyug itself, He came as Buddha, Lord Buddha. Teaching such a philosophy because people were using the Vedas to do wrong things. The Brahmins were using the Vedas to do wrong things, to drink alcohol, eat meat. And Veda is saying like that. So the Lord took a special descension as Buddha, Lord Buddha. And He said, I don't accept Veda. In other words, you're all doing the wrong things. He's teaching the highest philosophy of Veda, but He says, I don't accept Veda. This is why, according to Sanatana Dharma, the philosophy of Buddhism is termed Gnostic, atheistic philosophy. It doesn't mean that there is no God, it's godless, but it's not based on the principle of the Vedas. So it's called Nastiko Veda Nindakaha. Any philosophy which is not based on the Vedas is called Gnostic, atheism. This is why at the time He descended, the whole of India became filled with Buddhism. And then He came, the Lord sent Shankaracharya, Shivji. He sent Shivji and told Shivji, go in the world and preach a philosophy against me. The greatest devotee of Sri Krishna is Shiv. Vaishnavanam yatha Shambhu. In Bhagavat Mahapuran it says, the greatest devotee of Sri Krishna is Shivji. Shiv Bhagwan. So Bhagwan said to Shivji in Padma Puran, I want you to go in the world and teach a philosophy totally against me, to get rid of Buddhism, because Buddhism had become polluted, totally polluted, when Lord Buddha left. So that same Shivji descended as Shankaracharya, and he preached such a philosophy, confused everybody. He practiced bhakti to the highest. He even told his mother, he taught his mother to do bhakti for Sri Krishna. That without bhakti, the heart, the mind cannot be purified. And yet, he's preaching that God is only formless. So Buddhism was kicked out of India by Shankaracharya. Every dissension has a reason. And it confused everyone. Because we don't understand. Everybody thinks it's the highest path, the world is false, everything is false. Whatever you're seeing is the imagination of your mind. I'm imagining you, you're imagining me, all craziness. And people don't understand and they think it's the highest philosophy. Then the Jagat Gurus came after. He was the first Jagat Guru. Then came after him Jagat Guru Ramanujacharya, Jagat Guru Madhavacharya, Jagat Guru Nimbarkacharya. They contradicted Shankaracharya, saying the world is real. And the soul is not God, the soul is a servant of Bhagavan. Das hai, das. And then came the ultimate Jagat Guru Tam Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu, who reconciled all the philosophies, showing that all are saying what they're saying is correct, just understand what they're saying and why they're saying. And finally, he came as Kalki Bhagwan. At the end of Kali Yuga, the Lord descends as Kalki, a special descension where he destroys the world and puts it back to the top again. And of course, we live in a crazy age called Kali Yuga. There are so many people in India who claim they are already Kalki Bhagwan. And people believe. And they worship them. That they are already Kalki Kali Yuga has now started. The length of Kali Yuga is 432,000 years. Only 5,150 years have gone in Kali Yuga. There are still 427,000 years to go. And Kalki already come. He only comes to destroy. Kalki has, the descension of Kalki is to finish the age. But so many people, more than 25, they claim they are already, especially South India, that they are Kalki Bhagwan. And people believe them and worship them. Be very careful. You can follow anyone as a guru, follow any path, but it must be based on the Vedas. Otherwise, reject it. If Bhagwan himself comes, Bhagwan came as Lord Buddha. We accept him, we bow to him as Lord Buddha. Your Bhagwan Sri Krishna himself, we bow to you, we love you, but we don't accept your philosophy because it's not based on the Vedas. It was kicked out. It has to be based on the Vedas. Then we accept. And now, so that was the answer. Let's see what the 8th question is. Page 26. In your booklets. Radhe Radhe Govind Radhe 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 Oh Radhe Radhe Govind Radhe राधे 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 राधे
गोविंद राधे 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 राधे
तुम भी नहीं भूलो मोहि पल छिन आधे तुम भी
नहीं भूलो मोहि पल छिन आधे
O Radha Rani, I sing your praises every moment. Radha Rani, please don't forget me even for half a moment, I beg you. And I will also never forget you, Radha Rani. तुम भी नहीं भूलो मोहि पल छिन आधे तुम भी नहीं भूलो
पल छिन आधे
मैं भी न भूलो तो ही राधे 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 मैं भी न भूलो
तो ही राधे 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 राधे
तुम बिनु जियो नहीं एक छिन राधे
तुम बिनु जियो नहीं एक छिन राधे
Please make me in such a way that I can't live without you even for a moment. Please make me like that. Yes, shower your grace on me. तुम बिनु जियो नहीं एक छिन राधे तुम बिनु
जियो नहीं एक छिन राधे
ऐसी बना दे मोहि राधे 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 ऐसी बना दे
मोहि राधे 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 राधे
राधे राधे राधे राधे
राधे राधे
राधे राधे राधे
राधे राधे
राधे राधे गोविंद राधे 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 राधे
राधे राधे गोविंद राधे 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 राधे
भगवानंत हरिं प्रायो न भजन्त्यात्म विपत्तिमाः येषां शान्त कामानां का निष्ठा विजितात्मना सुखबाहुरुपादेभ्यः पुरुषस्य पायाश्रयैः सह तत्वारो विजरे वर्णा गुणै विप्रादयः पृथक् राधे राधे गोविंद राधे 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 राधे
गोविंद राधे 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 राधे
राधे राधे गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद
राधे 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 राधे
पतित जनन हित तो हित जी राधे पतित जनन हित और थर हो तो बता दे राधे 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 और थर हो
तो बता दे राधे राधे राधे
तुझ सा पतित यदि होते नहीं राधे मुझ सा पतित
यदि होते नहीं राधे
तेरे द्वार आता कौन राधे 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 तेरे द्वार आता
कौन राधे
राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे
राधे राधे
तुमको पतित पावनी लखी राधे तुमको पतित पावनी लखी राधे ओ किए मन माने पाप राधे 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 राधे
किए मन माने पाप राधे 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 राधे
राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे
राधे राधे
ओ राधे राधे गोविंद राधे 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 राधे
गोविंद राधे 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 राधे
दूरे हरि कथा के चित दूरे चाच्युत कीर्तिनः श्रियः शूद्रायश्चैतेऽनुकम्या भवादुषा कर्मण्य कोविदः स्तब्धा मूर्खः पंडितमानिनः वदन्ति चादुकान् मूढा यया माध्व्या गिरो सुखाः राधे राधे गोविंद राधे 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 राधे
गोविंद राधे 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 राधे
राधे राधे राधे
राधे राधे
तुम मैं तो भूला तेरी माया मैं तो भूला तेरी माया वश तो ही राधे मैं तो भूला
तेरी माया वश तो ही राधे
ओ तूने क्यों भूलाया मोही राधे 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 राधे
तूने क्यों बुलाया मोरी राधे 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 राधे
हाँ राधा रानी. The Guru made me understand and know that you alone belong to me, Radharani. I have accepted that. Please shower your grace on me. Guru ne janaya jana, tu hi meri Radhe. Guru ne janaya jana,
तू ही मेरी राधे
माना नहीं तू ही मनवाजे. राधे राधे राधे
माना नहीं तू ही मनवाने राधे राधे राधे
राधे राधे राधे
राधे राधे राधे
Hey Radha Rani, you have accepted uncountable sinners. I am also a most sinful fallen soul. Please accept me, love me also Radha Rani. अगणित अधम अगणित अधमन अपनाय राधे. अगणित अधमन ओ अगणित अधमन अपनाय राधे. अगणित अधमन अपनाय राधे. अपना कृपालु को भी राधे. राधे 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 अपना
कृपालु
को भी राधे. राधे
राधे राधे
राधे राधे राधे राधे ओ राधे 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 गोविंद राधे 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 राधे
राधे गोविंद राधे 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 राधे
हाँ अब 8वें प्रश्न है जो चमस महाराज उत्तर देंगे. And now we come to the 8th question that Videha Nimi would ask, and the answer will be given by Chamas Maharaj. Bhagavantam harim prayo na bhajatyatma vittamaha na bhagavatyatma vittamaha tesham ashanta kamanam कानिष्ठा विजितात्मनाम. Very important question. बहुत सुंदर. He says, O Guru Shresht, जो लोग भगवान पर विश्वास नहीं करते, जो भगवान से प्यार नहीं करते, पूजा नहीं करते, और बस कामनाएं करते हैं, संसार में अपना कामना को पूर्ण करने के लिए करते हैं, मन, इंद्रिया इत्यादि, तो उनको क्या होगा? क्या होगा? Very important question. And majority of people in the age of Kali Yuga belongs to this category. He says, my Lord, O Gurus, best among Gurus, those souls who do not worship God, they have no love for God. They don't adore and worship God. All they think about is satisfying their desires, which remains unsatiated. Their mind, their senses, their intellect, everything is about how to enjoy the world and the senses, sensual objects. You might say a lot of people go to church, a lot of people do puja, they go to mandir, they do havan, they go to masjid. Yeah, a lot of people. But do they believe in God? Do they love God? No. Why they are going? They are going because someone has told them, or they are convinced that by praying to God, we'll get material things. They are praying for the world, to satisfy the senses, to get a better job, to get a better motor car, to have more money, to win the lotto, to get a nice girl for a wife, a boy for a husband, to have children, etc. Most people, 99.99%, who claim to be religious people, they go to church, they go to masjid, they go to the mandir, they go everywhere. They're doing havan, they're doing yag, they're doing so much things. Why? For the world. Do they have any interest in God? None. Do they love God? No. Nobody wants God. Very few. This is Kali Yuga. Mostly people are attracted to the material world and the things of the material world, which attracts the senses. Because we have made that firm decision in the mind that I will find happiness in the world. First to begin, we have forgotten who we are. We have forgotten that I am the soul, the Atma. We have identified with the physical material body from beginningless time. And because of that, we are looking for happiness where it cannot be found, in the material world. From beginningless time. We have met uncountable saints. We have seen the descension of God. Whenever He is descended in this world, as Ram, Krishna, etc., we were there. But because our attraction to this material world, this Maya, is so powerful, we paid no heed. These foolish people, all they're talking about loving God and a God, God, God. Why can't they talk about getting the world and how to get the world? Anyone who sits down and preaches to us, he could be a pastor, he could be a priest, he could be a pandit, he could be a Swami, he could be a Maulana, whoever. And he tells us, if you do so and so, you will get the world. If you do this thing, if you do that, you will get the world. You will get this, you will get that. You will have lots of people following that person. And especially if they have little siddhis, they can pretend to do magic. Even more. You can't find place for such people doing little magic. Because our greed. We want more of the world. We are so greedy that people will even worship ghosts and spirits, bhoot and pret. Dead, they will go to the grave and dig up the dead. Get the bones and worship. This is the age we live in. All because of greed. So, what's going to happen to such people? It's a very important question being asked here. चमस महाराज जवाब देते हैं कि देखो, भगवान के मुख से, बाहें से, जांघें से और पैर से ये वर्ण आते हैं, वर्ण। और वर्ण में भी 4 आश्रम है। ये वेद के अनुसार है। I told you Vedas are translation. Bhagavat Mahapuran is a translation of Vedas. Brahmanosya mukhamasi, there's Ved mantra, which says the Brahmins came from the mouth of Bhagavan. The Kshatriya came from his arms. The Vaishya came from his stomach. And the Shudras, they came from his feet. All of Bhagavan is the same thing. No part is more important. All is important. So in the same way, Chamas is saying, this is the exact translation of Vedas. From the mouth came the Brahmins, from the arms, the Kshatri, from the stomach, the Vaishyas, from the feet, the Shudras. And along with that, the 4 ashramas. So this is 4 varna. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Varna. And from that also the 4 ashramas, the stages of life. I explained in detail before. Brahmacharya, Grihasthi, Vanaprasthi, Sannyas. Of course, no one can do in Kali Yuga. But this is all written out there. And all the rules are written. इसमें से जो भगवान की भक्ति नहीं करते, कि वो सुप्रीम ब्रह्म है और इसको तिरस्कार करते हैं, तो वो अपने स्थिति से गिर जाते हैं और नरक जाते हैं. They could be as high as they want. In this 4, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Here Chamas is saying, if any one of them, no matter who they are, does not adore and love God, they fall from their status. They can have the highest status position and they go to hell afterwards. Narak jayenge. No matter who they are. Chamas is saying here. Narak jayenge. Kitne aurat, shudra ityadi भगवान का कथा नहीं सुन सकते इत्यादि, तो इस पर कृपा होना चाहिए और उसको सुनाइए और इसको सिखाइए. So many women, so many people of lower stages in life, they don't have the great fortune of listening to the glories of the Lord. Have compassion on them, he's saying to Videhanimi, under all the preceptors there. Have compassion on them. Teach them about loving God, about bhakti. Have compassion on them. ये ब्राह्मण क्षत्रिय वैश्य भगवान के नजदीक खड़े होते हैं, उनके चरण के नजदीक अपने वैदिक संस्कार और जन्म के कारण. लेकिन वो वेद को जो लिखा है न जानने से, तो इसका असली अर्थ को नहीं समझते हैं और इसका अनर्थ करते हैं. He says the Brahmins, the Kshatriya and the Vaishya, they stand very close to the feet of Bhagavan, close to him. Due to their birth and sanskars, they perform special sanskars. But they are misguided. They are misguided in that they do not understand the true import of the Vedas. They miss the real meaning and they misinterpret the Vedas to mean the fruits, to go for the fruits of the action, to do actions, to perform certain dharma, karma, whereby you'll get the fruit. The highest fruit, as we mentioned yesterday, is heaven, swarg, by performing dharma. And the Vedas are saying the one who wants to go to heaven is not only an ordinary fool, but the greatest fool. Pramudha, ishta purtam manyamana varishtham nanya shreyo vedayante pramudha. Na kashyapiste te sukite na bhutamam lokam hitram vavishanti. Mundak Upanishad, first Mundak, second Kan, 10th mantra. The Vedas are saying, those who think the Vedas are preaching about heaven, the scriptures are telling us to go to heaven and perform action to go to heaven, the result of performing dharma, etc. They're not only ordinary fools, but the greatest fools. We have been to heaven uncountable times. And we have to come back here and suffer. There's nothing there. They do not know the secret of action and interpret it as the fruit of action. They do not know the secret. They do foolish. They consider themselves to be very learned, and they become conceited, very full of ego. They indulge in talk, and they speak words like honey dripping from their lips. But they perform cruel deeds and desire only pleasures in the world, which is insatiable. This is also said, this again is translation of Vedas. Avidyaya mantare vartamana swayam dhira panditam manyamana janghanyamana pariyanti mudha andhe naivaniyamana yathandha. Mundak Upanishad, first Mundak, second Kand, 8th mantra. This is exact translation. Those who consider themselves to be very wise, same thing here. They misinterpret the Vedas, thinking that the Vedas are, that the rituals and rites and rituals of the Vedas are the highest, which gives rise to heaven, the attainment of heaven, and that is the highest. They are filled with ego. They are conceited, not understanding the true meaning of what the Vedas are preaching. That to perform dharma, karma is the highest. They are preaching that. They are fools. They are blind. And those who believe in them are greater fools and more blind than them. Andhe naiva niyamana yathandha, I told you last night, is a case of blind leading the blind. Again, it's been said here. Ved is saying, Bhagavat is saying, they're very cruel because of their ego. They're so filled with ego, they speak very harsh words. They look down on others and scold and speak very cruel and harsh words. The desire for pleasures are insatiable. Because they keep, when you fulfill the desire, what happens? Na jatu kamaha kaman upabhogena shamyati havishya krishna vadmeva bhuya eva bivardhate. Bhagavat Mahapuran, 9th canto, 19th chapter, 14th verse. Bhagavat Mahapuran is saying, trying to satisfy a desire is like pouring ghee in fire, fuel in fire. When you do havan, you pour ghee, pure cow ghee. Indraya namaha swaha, Agnaya namaha swaha. What happens when you pour the ghee, the pure kettle butter? Temporarily the fire goes down. And then it gets even bigger. When we satisfy a desire in the world, temporarily, I'm okay. And after, I want more. The desire only increases. So it's insatiable. Desire, fulfilling desire leads to greed, lobe, which is ever increasing and insatiable. The anger is like a serpent. They cause harm to others for no reason. They love seeing others being hurt. And they know their words are going to cause harm and hurt, like a serpent. The snake bites someone, and the snake gets nothing. They love luxury and show pride. They love the best thing in the world. The best motor car, the best house, the best clothes, the best food. Ostentationities. And show pride that I have this and I have that. Oh, look at the house I have this kind of motor car, I have this thing. I'm not saying it's wrong to have, but don't be proud. Don't show off with it. And actually, as we will see later, such a person is called a thief who utilizes the wealth that has been blessed to you by Bhagavan to enjoy the world. That person goes to hell. He's a thief, sustainer. वो घर में रहते हैं और बस कामनाओं को पूर्ण करते हैं और कुछ नहीं. So they live in home, just trying to satisfy sensual desires, devoted to women, etc. ये अपने धर्म, अपने धन इत्यादि से अभिमान पैदा होते हैं. अपने स्टेटस इत्यादि से मैं बहुत सुंदर हूं, मैं बहुत बलवान हूं. और ऐसे खल ये सिर्फ संतों को भी तिरस्कार नहीं करते हैं, भगवान को भी तिरस्कार करते हैं. They have great pride because they have money, they have power, they have some status, they have graduated from university, they have some degree, they have some beauty, they have some physical strength. This gives rise to pride. Anything in excess in the world, the Ramayana says, Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Bolo Ram,
Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Bolo Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Bolo Ram.
Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
नहीं को अस जन्मा जग माही प्रभुता पाई जाहि मद नाय बोलो राम
Siya
राम जय जय राम बोलो
Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
नहीं को अस जन्मा जग माही प्रभुता पाहि जाहि मद नाहि. The Ramayana says there never was, there never is, or there never will be such a person who has acquired something in excess in the world. Beauty, strength, wealth, position, anything. And has not become arrogant. Jahi mad nahi. It brings arrogance. This is why the Bible says it is easier for a camel to enter the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. And then the pastor say, if you accept Christ, you'll become a billionaire. In other words, you'll never go by Bhagavan. Does he understand what the Christ is saying? Nobody understands. The whole thing is just to make money. In this age of Kali Yuga, the Kali Yuga Mahima in the Ramayana says people will sell religion. They literally sell it. In other words, it's used to make money. Bechte hai. It's one of the things in Kali Yuga. Nobody understands. Whether it's Bible, Quran, how many saints they are. They are divine words. Whatever come in their head, they have no idea. Just to attract people, and they know people are attracted to greed. So just portray greed, that if you come to God, your greed will be fulfilled. Where, in which religion, scripture tells us that God fulfills our greed? They get more greedy. Because the more you get, the more you want. Nobody understands. And when the true saint comes and tells us, hey, do not pray to God for the world. You will get the world according to your action. You perform good actions, you will get good fruits. You give dawn, charity, you will get wealth. You do bad actions, you will get bad fruits. You never give dawn, charity, where are you going to get wealth from? Don't pray to God for the world. Avashyameva bhoktavyam kritam karma shubha shubham Mahabharat. You will have to bear the fruits of your good actions as well as bad actions. Pray to God to love Him selflessly. He will give you what you deserve. Don't worry about it. You cannot get more, you cannot get less. Jump high, jump low. Everything comes according to our action. Worldly things. The world. We have to pray for bhakti, to love God. And somebody comes and tells us that, something wrong with him, get rid of him. Crack. Mad. Pagal. Give him a bad name. Spread some propaganda. Let's get rid of him. Anyone who teaches and preaches the truth, great, great saints have come. All this Tulsidas, Surdas, Meera, Tukaram, Nanak, Gaurang, Mahaprabhu, you name them. When they came in the world, do you think you had lots of people following? No, very few. And so many, a bad name was given. So many attempts was made to destroy them and destroy Tulsidas. How many attempts were made to destroy Tulsidas and his Ramayana? By the Pandits of Kashi. Why? Because he wrote the Ramayana in Awadhi, the language of the people. And today we make a living reading that same Ramayana. Every saint. If you look at history, this has been because they come and tell us what we're doing is wrong. We are misinterpreting what the Vedas and what the scriptures are saying. We are given material interpretation for divine words. Everything become materialistic. Religion has become this age of materialism. That religion also has become the most materialistic thing. It's all about money and what you can get and how to satisfy your lust and your desires. That's all it's become. And we love to hear it because that's what we want. Anybody tells us to love God, that doesn't sound right. Because we don't have any interest. Or very little. So it's hard to go in. It's hard to go in. So like this, he says, they interpret the Vedas as discussing only objects of desire. Man is naturally, human beings are naturally inclined towards enjoying sensual desires from uncountable lifetimes. Natural. What more he tells us, there's much more. We'll hear the continuation in the next katha. Bole Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai, Radha Rani ki jai, Shrimat Sadguru Sarkar ki jai, Siyabar Ramchandra ki jai, Umapati Mahadev ki jai, Shrimat Bhagavat Mahapuran ki jai. Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe.